I need to be serious. Okay, much better. Hello! I decided that I'm going to be showing you how I write my poems. It's actually kind of a crazy process. It starts out very messy, but in the end, the poems end up good. So it's about quality, not quantity? No. We're all writing together, and then at the end, I'll show you the poem, and yeah, that's the that. Bro, cue the intro, man. Okay, so the first step is just a simple free write. Like, don't write a poem when you're not feeling inspired. If you're having a bad day but you're still inspired, write your poem. Sometimes for me, I'll have a song that's stuck in my head. It's just a song that turns gears in my mind, and then I'll write to that song. It's just whatever gives you inspiration, you need to get that on right now. You need to be inspired to be able to write. That's the truth. Honestly, I like to do mind maps. I know nobody likes a mind map for some reason, but I think mind maps are the best way to make a mess in an organized way. It's a poem that I actually posted on my Instagram, and I created it maybe a couple weeks ago. So y'all can't even see that. So just literally anything that's in your head, put it to the page in whatever form you want, but I like mind maps. So we're gonna do that right now. I don't really have any songs that made me feel inspired, because for me, music is what inspires me. So if I can find a song that really gives off that sunrise vibe, I'm gonna write to that. So I actually ended up playing the song twice. I was too busy recording everything that I was doing, so I couldn't actually focus on writing. Here is just everything that was in my head when I was writing this. And what's probably important to know is I need a highlighter now. Highlighter, perfect. Okay, so you don't actually need a highlighter, but it just is a whole lot easier to get the most important thoughts with the highlighter. This thing is The first thing I'm gonna highlight is obviously, this is the song I was listening to, Minefields by I'll just put it somewhere on the screen, right there, here. It's not necessarily what the name of the poem is, but that's gonna be the thought behind it. This is a line that I really liked, and this was the thought process. Overdose. This line, close to you, gave me the idea of a drug and overdosing on maybe the person. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to make this poem about. Okay, so now it's time to decide on a theme. I think the theme is obviously the underlying idea, the main thing that we're talking about. So I'm just gonna write down at the top of my blank page. Here was the last page, so I'm turning to a new page, the next page. And just over here, I'm gonna write down theme. And what is my theme gonna be? I think that from what I've seen from my Minefields mind map, I think the best thing I can go for is emotions. It doesn't always have to be something you write down, but I think that's something that I'm seeing I could relate to just about every single line that I've highlighted. Write a little explanation on what that theme means, what you're trying to get across. What do you want to say about that theme? Imagery is a really, really good way to express your theme, because imagery is basically the three main things that are imagery are personification, similes, and metaphors. Just decide which similes you want to see, which metaphors, which personification. You can have none or all of them, but I think at least one can really help. So what I like to do is usually I end up already putting some kind of imagery in my mind map, so I go back and check to see if I did that, which I did a few times. I'm seeing this thing with the drug. I think I'm gonna do that as personification. That will go really well. So these are the three imageries I ended up using. I used personification, metaphor, and a simile. So like I said before, the drug and overdose, emotions and minefields, and then heart eating zombie. I went for a heart because usually zombies are personified with eating brains, and I think this would go. Okay, so this is probably my favorite bit. It's when you decide which kind of style you want your poem to be. Like, everyone has their own, like, writing style, their own voice. And, like, that's not probably gonna change unless you absolutely force it. But I just mean, like, there's so many different types of poems. There's, like, haikus, there's free verse, there's rhyme, and there's so many complicated ones as well. Like, ones that I don't even know exist until I look them up, you know? I like to really explore different types of poems and challenge myself to write in different ways. Also using different figurative language, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, but it's also good to learn those things, you know? So this part of the poetry writing process is, I guess, the poetry writing process. Is where we write the poem. So my first draft of writing a poem is always going to be on paper. I will just write. I'm not going to edit anything. I'm not going to overthink. I'm just going to write. Even if I spell things wrong, even if the grammar is weird, even if the words are not wording, just write. I honestly don't know what's going on with this poem. I kind of was just freestyling it. Oh my gosh. Wait, did I forget about the analogy? I don't know. I'm gonna read it and you guys can let me know if I put an analogy in there, because I'm not even sure anymore. I kind of forgot about that because I was so focused on the acronym part. So I'm gonna read it. This is the first draft. No editing, just write fresh on the page. Every person I let in is blown to pieces by my fear, my hurt, my pain. Overdosing on my fire, everyone burnt and gone. Till this day, I walk in a war zone. I don't see the minefield until they blow me to bits. Oh, to be free of the bomb that fills my mind. Never-ending pool that I'll drown in forever. Surrendering is my last resort. Believe me with. That's it. I know it's smiling writing this super depressing poem, but basically the last bit is to just, I like to go on my docs, Google Docs, or really whatever you use. You can do it on a notes app, you can do it on Notion. Does Notion have notes? I don't know. I don't use Notion, but everybody else does. But whatever has like a screen on it is probably the best way to do it. So I just take my poem, I put it on the screen, I look at it, I reread it, I look at my notes. I'm like, okay, what can I make better? Do I want to add a different word here? Do I want to do that? I should note that some really helpful tools that I'm using as I edit my poem is things like a thesaurus, a dictionary, that one website for rhyming, I think it's called Rhyme Zone. So those are like the places where I go if I want to find a certain word or if I want to make something sound a certain way, but I'm not sure what the wording is. Those are really helpful. I'll probably link them in the description along with the websites that I use to find my literary devices and my poetry styles. Okay, so it didn't actually take me that long to edit. I think 5 to 10 minutes and I was done. And I feel like the longer you write poems, the easier it gets to edit them because you know the vibe, you know your writing style, you know which words work and which ones don't. Let me read it and I'm gonna highlight the bits that I changed just so you can see like how I can amp up my poem. Even though when I first wrote it down, it was a bit messy, like even just the idea, I was still able to carry it in the same tone after I edited my poem. Every person I let in hears my fear, my hurt, my pain. Overdosing on my fire, everyone burnt and swept into the current. Till this day, I walk in a war zone. I don't see the minefields until they've blown me to bits. Oh, to be free of the bombs that fill my mind. Never-ending pool of reopened wounds inside. Surrendering is my last resort, but leaves me with. I think that hits emotions. I think that'll be the title. I'm giving it that title. Emotions. Yeah, that took me like 30 minutes tops. So thanks for watching, finishing it till the end. I don't know if this video was actually that long, but you're a real one for finishing it. And let me know in the comments if it was actually good, if you would use this process, or if there's any other processes that you use when you're writing your poems that also work. No gatekeeping here. We don't do that. Also, if anybody wants to hear more of this, more of how I write my poems or writing anything, like, let me know, man. Could I risk to be close to you? Bro, let me just... Okay, bye-bye.